Yeah, I'm gonna go over that GC trade, but first let's start off on NQ. So I'm just trying to remember like my trades. So I took okay, I remember now. So I didn't trade Monday because it's a bit weird. I'd be gapped up like this, and then when I open up New York session, like we're all the way up like up here. It's not really you're not gonna get a range day like this. It's not likely to get all the way up here. 2000 points. Not likely to do that. Let's skip this day. I did trade this day. Let me show you. So look. All right. So the reason why I took this, right, is come 10 a.m. open. What are we opening with then? Let me show you. Let me delete this. Mark this up. It's going to be something like this, right? We're opening up within a T-Trades fractal model. So the 4-hour candle, 10 a.m. open, it's opening up already within, right, ideal swing formation. And when I look at the PA here, it looks like expansion, and then just the way this daily range is developing, right? We're opening low, right? You can mark out 0.5. Let me just delete all this stuff, man. Delete all that stuff, guys. So when you mark out the 0.5 this range, right, I can at least target the previous high, right? That's pretty logical. So that's what I did. Right, you have failure swings up there. So you go to 5 minute, you put in this here, right? Intracranial CSD right there. As simple as that, right? This this candle goes lower, sweeps at this low, so open low into a POI that we use, which is a swing point, and we have that intracranial CSD right there. So it'll look something like this, right? Partialing at 2R or around there, letting the rest run to here, but you're going to see that it comes back, I believe, if I remember right. Yep, so it comes back. So it's like a partial win there, and then we flip over to ES this day. Another opportunity here. Let me also show you the 4-hour close, by the way. So this is the main reason our bullish this day. And that would be because when I look off to the left here, if I mark out relevant levels within this range, right? These are the main relevant levels, but internally, what do we have? Right, we have highs and lows. You see these little lows? It's on a swing point low, but right, on a lower time frame, if I drop down to like the hourly time frame, there's lows, right? And the gap between these lows and this low is very significant. So in this case, this is a very relevant low, and you're going to see that there's an SMT here. So that's very significant, right? Because when you train into relevant highs and lows, when you're going to get a reaction, like that's a lot um, more significant than maybe something like this. Like I would never care about something like this. I would never anticipate a reversal right here because this high is not significant, right? This is the significant high, right? You want to see everything get cleared, right? So if everything gets cleared, then there's no reason to return. That's a logical, right? So everything gets cleared here, creates an SMT. So, right, there's no reason to go lower at this point. And what we see is that 930 expands away from this, which is like a validation. So whenever you hit a key level or a reversal point prior to 930, the confirmation to that or any driver, that if you hit a key level prior to any driver, the confirmation is that driver expanding away, right? So whenever you come into the charts, there's no established higher low of the day, then you're going to look for the driver to create it. Now, if that has already happened, you're going to see a bunch of examples of this, um, multiple variants of using drivers. But if there is, an assumed low of day or high of day, then the driver should expand away, which is what we have here, right? So I got stopped at break even there. So now I'm just waiting for another swing point to form, right? So now we have what? A valid candle 3. And now what candle opens next? A new 4-hour candle. I see 1400 candle. Right? So if I let's go over here, it's the same thing as this, except the opening price is like right here. We're opening up within a candle 4. So I don't expect a deep retracement for this open, low, high close for this 4-hour candle. It's this high. Like this would be an invalidation, right? That's not what we want to see because that would be disrespecting, right? Zero point 0.5 of this candle's range. It's kind of awkward because you can't even mark out zero point 0.5 of this candle's range because the candle close is already near there, so can't really do that. You just use lower time from order flow. Maybe you can use one of these fair value gaps or something. Let's show you here. So you get a close right there. I believe this is what I took, something like that. Right, and then you get gets hit very quickly. You see how these are the same exact trades back to back, right? This is why you guys will be taking the same exact trades as me once you learn EXT. You can't mess it up. You really can't. It's all about like profiling. That's the hard part, maybe. But as far as like just getting on side with candle open, high, low, close on the 4-hour time frame, extremely easy and mechanical. So those are my two trades there. A full one here and a partial one on InQ. That was Monday or so this Tuesday for indices. I skipped Monday just because of the profile. So let's go on to the next day. I don't think I traded this. Yeah, I didn't. Here's the reason why, right? Because I'm not even someone sent me a message. I'm just gonna make sure it's not like my sound or anything. Okay, never mind, we're good. All right, so when I open up 10 a.m. here, so first off, I can't even trade this candle. Like I really can't even catch anything here 8:30. And when I see this huge drop here, right, it's like there's nothing to really do here at 10 a.m. because when I open up 10 a.m., it's like right here. Now, technically, this is a GXT, like technically, right? We're opening up within the fractal model, but it doesn't interest me too much. Um, just because we're kind of like ranging, and then we leave these failure swings. Like if we took out this failure swing, maybe I would trade back to the range. Um, and it was just like really sloppy, right? I don't want to fade this candle like that. Kind of, it's just too much for me, so I ended up skipping this day. But I don't even know if there was a valid trade. We can take a look here. I don't really remember. Wouldn't surprise me if there's some loss. Oh yeah, I think this was a valid like, trade here. But again, the stop loss is just too large at this point for me personally. Like I think this is like risking way too much. Yeah, yeah, too much for me. It just wasn't worth it. But technically that did work if you didn't go break even. Was there anything else? Yeah, that was really it. I think we got there eventually, but yeah, just not interesting to me, to be honest. And even if I wanted to look for sells, right? Like it just would take too long. We never even created that candle to close or anything from here. And then once you see this candle here, this is the main candle that when this doesn't like reverse, this is already a red flag right here. When we open low first, then we don't get a weak closer here. When you see the next candle also expand higher, or not expand higher, but fail to reverse lower, that's just not a good sign for bearishness. That's already half the candle, half of the 4-hour candle just in quote unquote manipulation phase that you'd be looking for. There's not enough time to expand. So that was that day. But we can get on to the next day. So this gave us really good context though. Still inside of this range, right? Right, and we take out this low. So here, I'm looking at these equal highs right here. This gave very good context, right? Very obvious that we want to draw to this high and possibly this high. Yeah. So you want to see like that small posing run, right? So when you look at the profile here, it was very nice. I do believe, if I remember. I think we traded NQ. We called this in the channel. Yep. So what we have here is a very nice swing point. Just load. All right. So like I said, I gotta remember what I traded. It was either NQ and ES. It's matter, but we'll get to it. I'm pretty sure it was NQ. So actually, let's go to NQ. Or maybe it wasn't. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, I know why. I know why. Yeah. So I traded this, and here is the daily open right here. Right. So we open low first. Right. I'm not concerned with this this little open high first. It's not significant, right? It didn't do anything. It didn't take anything out. So therefore, it's just like almost like time distortion or something. It's like irrelevant. This move lower is what's important, right? When you look lower, I want to tell you why. You take out this low, that's whatever. It's not even about hitting anything relevant, to be honest. It's about the drivers. It's about the drivers within the um, 6 a.m. candle right here. This is what actually validates this as a low day. And we're gonna go back to what I just said earlier. When if this is assumed low of the day, because we have a large wick, right? That's for one. But if there's gonna be a assumed low of the day, the drivers within this, so at 8:30 red folder news and 9:30, they should expand away. So you're gonna see here 8:30 news. Oops. 8:30, 9:30. Right. What do we see 8:30 do with the first red folder? Right. Expand away. Now it's creating protected low, right? This little manipulation here, right? So when we see that, that's already a great sign. Okay. And then what we see is 9:30 make an opposing run through the draw. So a draw is higher, right? These Harrisons. So it makes an opposing run. And then we get that continuation signature. Holy crap, dude, they're spamming the Snapchat. Um, so when I open up 10 a.m., I have a clear, very clear invalidation point. And I said this on the chat. I said this is going to be the where the low of the 10 a.m. candle is going to form. So you have like some options here. You can trade a fractal model. So like you have this one on 30-minute, or so you can either wait for the wick to form on 10 a.m. or you could just enter this because it's such a one-sided bias, right? Look right here. We have these highs right here. These highs. It's so one-sided that I'm not going to miss this move personally. Just to wait for a. I'm going to assume that this is going to hold, right? I'm gonna take my partial at 2R. I'm going to let the rest run to here. Okay, that's what I did. If you played out, right, there's an opportunity to get in right there if you wanted to wait for the wick. As far as 30-minute fractal model goes, it's the same thing, right? 10 a.m. opens, creates the low, intracandle CSD. So there is valid trades there that you could have taken. But me, I did not wait, personally. Yo, what are they doing? They're spamming, bro. Okay. So I took a partial at around 2R, right? Something like that. And then I'm just letting the rest run. You're gonna see it comes back pretty close. And then Trump starts yapping. Let me get this. And I believe there was some sort of fractal model here. I'm not mistaken. I think it was right here, no? Yeah. So if you wanted to trade if you want to trade this, I think this is valid. I don't know. Remember. Yeah, like this is valid. One of these, if you wanted to take that. But me personally, I didn't. But yeah, that was my trade on Tuesday. Does that make sense, everyone? So the next day, this was Thursday. I'm gonna play out the next day. It was very similar case here um, on NQ. So let's go ahead and clear this stuff. So this is an interesting little profile here, right? Because we did take out all these highs to the left. Right? So you could assume that maybe we come back in the range for a new phase of price. Hold on, dude. I gotta tell these guys like shut up. All right. Okay, so if we look here at around 9:30, because this is the important candle, what we have is an open high first, create this little um, manipulation. So you're not wrong for assuming like this is perfectly bearish profile if 9:30 expanded away. I'm telling you, 9:30 and drivers, they confirm everything for you. I even put in the chat, if we close like this at the 9:30 candle or the 9 o'clock candle, I will trade 10 a.m. lower. We did not, and that is very telling. Let me see if we had news. I don't remember. We did have 8:30 news as well. So what 8:30 and 9:30 do is they don't reverse lower, right? If we're going to be bearish, it would definitely go lower, right? Um, but if you see here on the close of 6 a.m., what would this be now? Uh, I would assume, right, a New York reversal within the 6 a.m. candle, meaning 10 a.m. continuation. That's what I put in the chat. So this is what I was looking for, right? Just for 10 a.m. to go like this, open, low, high, close, and we all know how ugly it was, but um, it's the same situation, right? Very one-sided bias, like very one-sided. Look at these equal highs at this point. We don't reverse from equal highs like this. We don't make deep retracements in a bearish um, market, right? But what are we doing here? Right, we're respecting order flow, respecting opposing candles, 8:30, 9:30 opposing run to the draw, and we're expanding higher, right? So the failure to displace lower at key times, right here and here, that is a validation for longs or a flip your bias. Either or, it doesn't matter. It just tells you we're going long through these session highs. So here, it's like the same thing. I'm going to set a limit right here, right? Just simple like that. And I wasn't so worried here. This is why I didn't go break even because there's no SMT here. Right? There's no SMT here. And I would gladly take this loss to be honest because this doesn't happen. Like this rarely happens. Especially even this like choppiness, it rarely happens. You usually see speed. So when I saw this SMT, I was pretty confident. Um, and I was just like, okay, I will take this loss if it does present, and then it hit. So yeah, that was pretty much that idea. And you look at the 10 amp candle, it's what it does, right? Open, low, high, close. So nothing too crazy there. Um, that was indices this week for me. I don't even think I traded much else on like YM or RTY that was like notable to go over. So we'll leave it at that. And we'll go over to gold. I'm really trying to remember what I took. Oh, let's go over this loss. Okay, I know I definitely took a loss. Um, Wednesday. Did I trade Wednesday? Man, I cannot remember it. I don't think I traded Monday. Tuesday. I don't think I traded Tuesday. Wednesday. Hold on. Let me go to silver. I know I traded silver early on the week for sure. Oh, here it is. This is beautiful. Um, where was that? Where's that? It's like right here or something. This is CPI, I believe. Was it? Yep. Okay, yeah. This was like textbook as it gets, guys, right here. Um, so I have SMT, right? When we look at the previous sessions, just consolidation, right? Pretty much just consolidation. We haven't really gone anywhere. So when you see a driver, you pair that with the manipulation, creating the low of the day. This is this is like basically my ideal profile that I like that you're gonna see in the course. It's like I call it intra-candle manipulation. It's when within the same candle you open up, you create a protected swing, right, within the same candle, which creates the wick. So then you can trade away from that and then catch the body of the candle. That's essentially how I view it. So within this candle, we can trade it, right? Because this wick isn't, so large, and we have SMT, and we also have that driver. Wait, we have the volume to expand. You're gonna see here. I don't remember if I traded the 30 minutes. Let me check real quick. Okay, it must have been this. Yeah, must have been 30 minutes. So go on the 30 minute, right? 8:30 manipulation. Like I said here. We have a CSD as well. Extra confluence, not necessary for me. But within this candle, right, we can expect some sort of open, low, high close, right, into these failure swings. So if I show you the 4-hour chart just real quick, you have a range low and a range high, right? We want to trade to the range high. So looking at that, we put in an open low, and then we're creating that CSD into our targets to the left. So what would this 4-hour candle profile be? If I take you over here, this would be this one. For the low of the candle is created from a fractal, right? So we see here on the 30-minute and hourly time frame. So you have this here. And you see this is very telling, by the way, this reaction. This is absolutely like gorgeous, right? Open low instantly displace away, right? That's the type of CSDs you like to see, type of manipulation you like to see. Let me get this here. I'm not sure if I shared that. I really don't remember. You'd have to check my X or my channel or something. I have no idea what I traded, but it was one of these. That's all I know. It was like only like 2R to this high or something. Not really remember. But we got there, right? And that was that trade. Very clean, very clean. This was Wednesday. I don't remember if I took a trade these 2 days. This doesn't look very good. I don't think I did. Um, so on gold, I think the only trade I took was Friday after that. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the reason why I'm trading silver is because, right, we put a lower low here. I'm gonna trade the stronger asset, which was silver at the time. And I think it's Wednesday. Okay, no. I must have traded this. This looks very familiar. Let me try to find it. 6 a.m. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, this is a loss I took, and I sent this out too. This is pretty nice, in my opinion, loss. So as you see the previous day, we have SMT here. We also have that, um, reversal candle, so you can expect to draw into this high at least. And if you look at the profile, we also have news this day within a 6 a.m. candle here, which we put in a SMT right here, right? So this is the low of the day, put an SMT there, and inside of a key level as well. It's fair value gap. So I'm going to expect 10 a.m. expansion, which is what we get. Like you can be right and still lose. Like that's just the name of the game, right? Which I want to show you this loss right now. Right. So if you look on the Lord's time frame, I'm doing this as a candle 3 here, right? Although it didn't take out this high, right? So a swing point. That's just how I'm personally doing this. And if we drop lower, because here's the logic, because I even sent this out, like this is the only relevant area to reverse from. It doesn't really need to go lower. It doesn't make sense. So like it doesn't make sense for the 10 a.m. candle to go open low and then go, because if it does that, I'm totally uninterested. And Yeah, I just wouldn't trade it. So it has to reverse from somewhere inside of this lower time frame range. And that would be here. Like this is your invalidation point, these opposing candles. And when you look here, we open up right here. So this would be your intracandle CSD right here. Simple as that, right? Which we get there. So that's my entry. And I'm looking for these personally, like this high. These like equal highs right here. That's what I was looking for. So like I see all these as like failure swings. And then we obviously have this as well. Like this is just stuff you can't anticipate. Like this random reversal back in the range you're gonna see. It just doesn't really make sense. And it was very slow, you know, which is not what you want to see. We ended up coming lower. You're gonna see there's like a 30-minute fair value gap here. So we got stopped out there. And there's a 10 a.m. opener here. Underneath that low, underneath the current 10 a.m. low is a fair value gap. So all this is doing is just coming back, hitting a key level, and creating a new wick on the 4-hour time frame. So at this point, we still have that small wick, but it still supports expansion. So even when I saw this, I still like was very confident we're gonna go higher, but just nothing to like pull the trigger on. Really. Um, but we did end up going higher, and that was that day. So, and I'll show you my trade on Friday. So this is a pretty kind of advanced, and I'm gonna show you why. So if I pull you over to like, there's there's three intermarket that we're looking at, right? Three intermarket analysis that we want to look for. And when I look at the weakest one, right, it's very clear. Like we have this close, right? So we know that this one's going to go lower. When I look at silver, right, it's the strongest one. So we have an S&P here, right? You look here. But what made me short the 6 a.m. candle? So this is the S&P first, right? Now we're going to confirm an SMT with an SMT. This is what I call two-stage SMT. I'm going to show you real quick. So I don't really view this SMT as relevant, until we do something, right? And one thing you can confirm a large range SMT is like a small range SMT. So you see this SMT here. Now it's a little bit more convincing, right? If you look at the daily opener, we open high, creating that again. I'm going to show you a picture of it real quick. You guys can see my screen. This is what I'm referring to. Hopefully you guys can see this. Intracandle manipulation. It's when we open low or open high and create, basically, we just manipulate, right? On the hourly or above time frame, creating the wick with an SMT. So this is like um, one of the best things to like confirm a higher low today, in my opinion. This is what you see here, right? I'm expecting 10 a.m. or 6 a.m. open high to close, but that's not really exactly why I traded this lower. It's really the silver for the strongest asset. When I look here, what do we see? We see one, two, three, four, five expansion candles in a row on the 4-hour time frame. So do you really think it's going to just keep expanding forever, right? When I look at this daily range, it's already heavily extended. Can I show you? It's already a very large range. So do you really think it's going to just keep expanding? It's not likely to do that. So when do you think it's likely to fall back into the range? News, right? Red folder, 8:30. So that's exactly why I shorted gold, right? If silver, the strongest asset, is going to fall back in the range, well, then so will gold, right? We already manipulated. So that's my logic here. And you're going to see prior to the news event, we have this. Let me just leave this real quick. So like we have the S&T, right? We also have this CSD. So I'm trading within this candle here. And I'm trading prior to the news event. So we're not going to take this CSD here because it didn't hit anything, right? We're going to wait. And I took this like right there. So right there, market execution. And my TP, previous day's low. Right, so I went into contracts, the TP down there. You see it gets a little close. So news comes in. I show you correlated asset here, putting a divergence at a news event as well. So I'm not even really tripping at this point. And I want to show you something else too. Um, the time of the news event, so let's just play this out quick. Uh, I don't know why it didn't tag me out there. It's glitched, whatever. Um, so at the time of this news event, I show you right here. Right, have we even expanded yet? Have we even expanded in the daily range? No, right? There's no body of the candle. We can assume the wick is put in. So I expect this news event to freaking rip at this point. And I don't expect it to make a large opposing run, right? That doesn't make sense. Um, because we manipulated prior to that, right? And yeah, you want to see this news event rip because the daily range hasn't even expanded yet. So that's what we get here. It's freaking rip. There's like a lot of stuff with news events, with validating. You can anticipate it like this. Like I rarely do this. It's a very situational thing. There's many very like situational things, like these little if then scenarios. That's all trading is, right? It's a series of if then scenarios, and just validate and validate those trade ideas. And it ended up going a lot farther. It was insane. But that was gold this week. I think I covered majority gold and silver, those trades. So move on to RB as well. What did I take here? I traded these back-to-back days here. If I show you here, what did I take? No, I think I took this. Did I take this? I believe so. Yeah, I believe I did. Um, Now we have a large range, right? A large expansion range. When I show you CL, right, we're actually showing a bit of weakness here. Um, I believe like we have some divergence as well, right? So if I go back to RB, what is the high of the candle forming as, right? So we open high, a fairly large wick, right? But this is the only relevant area for continuations, right? This fair value gap, there's no reason to go higher. If we're gonna go lower, it's going to go lower. That's the only area. And this is the type of trades I like to take is is areas where it's the only area to reverse from. Doesn't make sense to reverse from anywhere else. Like there's not a fair value gap above it. There's not a relevant swing high above it. This is the only relevant area. And when we think about a bullish candle or a bearish candle, right? Open high, low close, right? Now this is a very you know, large opposing run low key. But there is a type of divergence, so I'm not really going to get into, but there's a type of divergence inside of here that gave me the signal to pull the trigger here, to go lower. And I believe I traded a 3 minute or 5 minute. I don't actually remember. Let's see. It must have been a 3 minute. Somewhere in here. It must have been like this or something. And I'm just taking it. So taking a partial on 2R. Do I expect it to come down here? No, I really don't. Here's another reason why I take this or took this, right? Monday, this is Monday's candle, right? There's just failure swings here, right? And then we have some sort of SMT here, I remember, as well. And then we have the CSD, right? So at the point of this candle, when we hit this here, we're already starting to, in a way, drift away from this opening price where it's almost sort of filtering out the possibility. Maybe not the possibility, but it's starting to lean more towards a bearish day, right? Small wick to the top side, large body. So does that kind of make sense? When I go to CL, I think it's much more telling. I believe so. Yeah, like look at this. This is actually exactly why I did this. Look at CL. Like this is pointing towards a bearish day, like a bearish close or reversal candle. That's the only two options. It can't be a bullish expansion candle to this high. It doesn't make sense, right? So when I compare the assets to Monday's range to what do you call it? RB. What do we see here? right? We see expansion on Monday. What do I see here on RB? Right, just a consolidation. So I'm going to trade RB because it has more of like a stronger draw, right? And it's also just closer. So that's why I'm trading this candle here. And I believe we even put in like a nice little candle or a nice little trade right here as well at 10 a.m. Yep. So if you look here, we're opening up within a what do we call it? A tractor model. We have candle one, candle two, candle one, candle two, candle three, and we're opening up within a candle four, right? And when we're in distribution, we expect opposing candles to support price, right? So even if you wanted to trade like 15-minute, if you're like a expansion model trader, right? You can use 15-minute closes. You don't even have to use the fractal model. But what your logic is, you want to get in around candle openings, right? You see how you're just confirming the wick, the 10 a.m. candle right here to trade the body. That's what you generally want to get in around, right? Above the opening price or around that opening price. And yeah, we had unestablished lows of the week, which I traded to. That one's a kind of advanced too. Like looking at, you know, just the way the range is developing, especially on ES or CL, comparing what Monday's range looks like, comparing the targets, etc. But yeah, a little bit advanced there. But this one's a bit more easy to follow here. This next day, I'll show you that. So you put in an SMT here. The previous day puts in this SMT on CL. And we also have this fair value up here, right? So we can frame a reversal off this low. Now, what do we want to see this candle form like, right? We want to see a bullish profile, and we also want to ideally see an open low first, right? So we can trade the high close. That's what we see here before it's time frame, right? Where's the 1800 candle open? It's right here. Right, so see we're opening low first. So again, there's another hidden divergence here. Not gonna like probably not gonna say too much on that just because like it's not my concept. But I think I traded the 6 a.m. candle. Let me just, yeah, I did. I definitely did. So the reason why I'm trading the 6 a.m. candle, right? 2 a.m. reversal, 6 a.m. expansion. That's just how we can trade the 6 a.m. candle. You also look for the 10 a.m. candle as well. But I was already in a position here, so I didn't look there. But how do we position ourselves within this candle, right? What do we need to see? So within a 6 a.m. candle, I'm going to refer to kill zones, so 8 a.m. and beyond. So 8 a.m. is about right here, right? So this is what I'm referring to. And I see about 9 o'clock. There's another way to trade the 30-minute candles, and you want it to be aligned with the hourly expansion candle. To see the first 30-minute candle within a 1 hour candle is really what you want to be trading, um, because this always aligns with expansion rate generally, right? Because there's new hourly open and 30-minute open. So you can trade basically an expansion candle hourly and also the what you call it 1 hour, right? This is a reversal into expansion candle on the 30-minute. And here, it's just an expansion candle on the hourly, but it's also reversal into expansion, right? We take out that low. And the reason why you can anticipate this being an hourly expansion candle is because the first 30 minutes manipulated of that candle and form that small wick. They expect the next 30 minutes to expand. Does that make sense? What you don't want to do is you don't want this. You don't want an hourly open right here. And let's say we get something like this. Right? The first 30 minutes manipulate, but it's a very large opposing run to the hourly candle. So this is when you have two time frames disagreeing almost. Like you're fading the hourly candle and you're looking to trade an expansion on a 30-minute. So if these two time frames agree and align, because that's the whole premise, like that's the whole idea and logic of my whole approach to trading, that you're gonna be better off if they both align. So this is what we see here. That's the reason why I can trade this, right? We also have a key level. We also have divergence here, by the way, at previous candle low. I show you CL. right? See that divergence right there? So I'm looking to trade 6 AM higher, like I said. There are like multiple divergences here, basically. So if I show you the 30-minute time frame, would it be opening within? So I did my stop loss a bit different. Not different, but a bit more conservative just because of the risk. So I'm gonna show you real quick. So I entered like right here or around here. I don't really remember, but I'm putting my stop loss. Okay, no, I definitely entered right there on the open or something. My stop loss like right down here. I'm referring to this breaker as kind of like the invalidation point, just because this is such a small range right here. Yeah, I don't really trust it. So you can use like a T spot. Sorry, it's like lagging. You can use a T spot and put your stop loss under there. Multiple ways you can do it, but this here doesn't make sense. The risk. By the way, my I think my entry is like right here, or something on the retest. I don't remember. It was a lot closer, and the risk was super small. So I'm like, I might as well just keep room. It was up on 400 risk. Or something. And my target is this fair value gap, just back within the range, right? So after a large expansion, what can we get? What phase of price, right? You can trade back to the range. Um, if you want to trade back into range, you need to be trading expansion candles back in the range. So we're framing the low of the day, right? Once that's put in, now we're trading 4-hour expansion candles and 30-minute hourly expansion candles back into the range. Um, and also just the way this daily candle forms, it opens low first. That supports bullish, right? Back into the range. This is my TP, this fair value gap. So nothing too crazy, right? Let me get a mark up. Right, so boom. I really can't remember where I entered. It was somewhere in here, but yeah, my TP go down here. Like I said, you can put it at there's many ways you can do it. You can put it at point 0.5 like this candle. Um, but here's like this breaker, like might as well just put it under that. Okay. And we eventually get there. Right, that was my trick. Um, and I'll show you RB. I'll show you some logic for a loss and a win with the model. So just going off of this here, you have a reversal day. You have a candle too, so you could frame longs technically, right? When I look at the assets though, right, you don't even see a fair value up on RB, but you see a fair value up here, right? So there is logic to sell. There's also logic to long, kind of like two-sided. So I'm gonna see the loss for the longs, and then you just turn the bias around. It's not really that complicated to take a loss. Really fine. And I like this loss because it's kind of like this logic here with that intercandle manipulation. The low of the day is formed from this manipulation. So I feel comfortable longing this here, right? This next candle higher. And just to get like a 2-hour trade, like it's not the craziest idea ever. Like it's fine to take this loss, in my opinion. So like you would take it right here, and it simply comes back, takes you out. Now, off these 6 AM close, and the reason by the way we can trade within this candle because of this small wick. Can trade 6 AM, right? You hit a key level, taking out those lows, this fair value gap. When I think about phases of price too, I'm painting this looks pretty good for longs. Expansion, consolidation, manipulation. And then here's the only thing is it makes a lot of sense to expand off of this low. But we're kind of the trade that we were taking is kind of like continuation. Like it already expanded this high. But that's fine. Totally fine. Um, what else? So if I show you 4-hour candle closure, especially on CL. At this point, if this is going to be a bullish day, we wouldn't have done this. Right? We're not going to make this deep run back in the range and disrespect the point 0.5 of these candles here. So you can just flip your bias. It's really that simple. Or look at ES or in oh my god, CL. I'm sorry. God, it's fair value gap. right? So it makes sense to short. Um, we also have like I think we have a fair value gap down here as well. We have like equal lows here. That's whatever. It's really a 6 a.m. close, and then also it's also this right on the 50-minute we have alignment, right? So we're opening up within a fractal model again. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna create one right here though. So you have this close on my 30-minute fair value gap. And by the way, this is the 10 a.m. open. The 10 a.m. opens right here. We do open up within this, sorry. So 10 a.m. open is next candle. We're opening up within key level and within a fractal model. So does it make sense for 10 a.m. to go all the way up here? No, it doesn't, right? It's already in a key level. So this is when we expect expansion. That's what we get. And there's SMT like right here or something. Yeah. Like here you go. Here's your intercandle or CSD right there. Where you have multiple opportunities or whatnot. I don't know if we get all the way down here, but it definitely provides a 2R for sure. That was that day. But I traded like 2 days on CL or RB. Sorry, who's messaging me real quick? Let me make sure I'm good here. It's AB. Okay. What else, man? Let's go over HG. I traded back-to-back days or something. I traded this day. So I'm just gonna go over this trade. We can go over this trade. But I gotta get to questions because wow, we're already at almost in an hour. This is crazy. I'll go over this trade real quick. Right, so we expanded this high. It's really how this daily candle reverses off this high. Right, so if you look here, just an expansion rate. So one-sided expansion with little to no retracement. What I'm seeing here, 6 a.m. candle, 6 a.m., 6 a.m., 6 a.m. Here we go. Seeing a 2 a.m. reversal, right? When I look at the low today, it's a relevant time, right? It's just 1800 low, right? So this is what we're going to trade back to. When we think about a bearish candle, again, how does it form? Sorry, right? Open high first, and then look where I'm trading, by the way. This is why I love this approach. Look, I'm trading around the daily open. You see this right here? The daily open's right here. And I'm trading an open high low close around the daily open. So this is so great, right? We're trading around the opening price of the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle and the opening price of the what do you call it? Daily candle, right? So when I look here, again, I'm going to trade the eight around the 8 o'clock, right? Time window for just anything other than indices. So we already have a reversal. So I'm just waiting for, you know, my time window, which is around 8 o'clock. Right. So what is the high of the 4-hour candle created from? A CSD, right? But it's also a fractal model. So again, it would be this. Um, pretty much, no, it's actually this. Where is it at? It's like continuation, pretty much. But the high is created from a higher low. So it can be a reversal kind or a continuation. But the high needs to be created from a fractal model. Here's the fractal model, right? It's a ideal swing formation where the third candle creates a CSD. So all I'm simply looking for is this. This is literally it, my entry here. Like, do we need to go higher after this very aggressive close? Doesn't make sense to go like this. No, it doesn't, right? Um, so this is why I took this right here. And then I took it to the previous day's low, or no, down here. Let's play it for a little bit. Get it down here. Okay, and then you get this. If you wanted to wait for more, no, I guess, what do you call it? You could have got a retest right there. There's another trade right there, right? Multiple trades there. but that was really clean in my opinion. And yeah, when I look left as well, this fair value gap is getting disrespected and essentially used as support. That's something I want to put in my course because I do this a lot. I use opposing P rays from the sell side of the curve, and it's not necessary, but it's nice to see those basically support price and align with fair value gaps on the sell side of the curve. But we'll get to some questions and then we'll end this. Right? I'm gonna start up here. Okay, cool. Not many questions here. Yep, course should be released this weekend, hopefully. I don't quite understand the GC trade. Okay. Do you have a set rule for taking partials? Like, do you take 80% at 2R and let the rest run? So it depends on like how much contracts I'm taking because I trade 50K accounts and on trade evates and it only allows like two contracts on top step. So I'm either entering on one or two contracts. So if I'm entering on one, then I can't partial. Um, and I usually hold to like I try to hold to the objective really. And I've taken some painful, you know, break evens like that, doing that, but that's just kind of how I do it. But I kind of like to, if I'm in two contracts, then I'll partial around 2R or so. But yeah, I always leave a runner, like always. Sorry, why I didn't take the 4 hour EQ because it had a wick. Oh, then yeah, you can do that. I probably just skipped over it. So you're gonna see that the way I frame profiles is it's not only from like it can be from 1 hour, 4 hour key levels. It's really just about how the daily candle forms. Like here, there's no 4 hour key level, right? When I go to the hourly time frame, there is in a way, right? There's this high right here, but it's really just about like this CSD, right? Obviously, we have a reversal, so now I just want to trade 4 hour expansion candles away from that. So if you look here, maybe I try to find another example or something. Um, Even like right here, right? So today is formed from this fair value and whatnot, or the high of the day, or this reversal is formed from this 4 hour high. But it doesn't even have to be like necessarily like if I show you NQ, like here, like I'm not really caring about this. Like sure, yeah, this CSD cool, whatever. I just really care about the opposing run size, and then the drivers just it literally just confirms it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, it didn't hit like a perfect E level. I can't trade this day. No, it's not like that. Like here, I guess this fair value gap. So if you look here, like the low days formed from this fair value gap, but it's really just about defining an established low of the day, trading expansion candles away from that, right? 4 hour expansion candles, 4 hour expansion candles away from, you know, that's kind of how I'm, to be honest. But you're gonna see in the course. There's a couple ways to go about it. But you trade. No, I mean, if you're brand new, then that's the way to do it. You don't want to be overthinking about. You don't want to let your emotions take over when you're a new trader. Just 2R. That's literally fine to be make a lot of money. You ever trade before 10 a.m. or wait for 10 a.m. or okay? No, I showed you some examples of me trading 6 a.m. candle. Um, Also had perfect. Version. Yeah, kinda. I do a little bit. Um, like I said, I'll use like inversions to pair with my pair stuff. So I don't know if there's like an example here. That's just too choppy here. So it's not like a requirement, but um, I'm gonna try to find an example. So like right here or something. See this? Like if I want to pick this here, I would feel a little bit better about it. That's really it. Because I like to use inversions, especially that were like supported on the way lower. So they got respected on the sell side. When they get broken over, they get respected on the buy side. But I don't think I'm gonna put that in the course probably. Um, but yeah, that's something that's pretty interesting. Um, look here, it's like PD or alignment or whatever. Like you sweep out this low. This one's probably not that best, but yeah, like that. Um, I also do use inversions for. I'm gonna show you an example real quick. The hourly time frame, 4 hour time frame. If I can find it here. Oh yeah, like this. This is one example just from this week. This is why I felt confident about this trade. By the way, you have this one here. The open low is formed from inside of here, and a lower time frame, right? You get this here, right? That's what I took, I think. That's not even the example I was talking about though. Um, basically when what's that? Oh, it's right here. So you see how the CST is like super far away? This is a trade I took like last week or something. See how the CSD is like super far away? I'm gonna revert to like uh, fair value gaps to support price, basically. So you see how we support price here? Even like 30-minute, there's like one right here. So I traded this fractal model right here. It's like PDR alignment. You have this fair value gap version. And they work pretty well, to be honest. Like I don't have a problem with fair value gaps for them. It's like pretty damn good. I find a lot of people use them. But yeah, probably won't be in the course then. I believe you mentioned it before as well, but don't think it's a regular current risk management. Yeah, it's a stretch name. Yo, just on the wins. What's up, man? Yeah, that's Wednesday. Perfect. Yeah. All right, man. See ya. Yeah, you got it. Actually, I just don't want to like. I'm not gonna. That. Did you go over GTX on GU yesterday? Oh yeah, dude. There was some fire. Like, if I had time, I could go over so many examples. Um, you said yesterday. Yeah, must have been this, right? Even on the either or, like, you can use either or here. Um, but this swept out this low, which I like. So kill zone is around 7 o'clock. So this is perfect, right? 7 o'clock opens right here into a key level. And this is the low of this candle. This 5 a.m. candle is being formed from fractal model. So you see how it's repeatable. So here's one entry. That's one. If you use the 30-minute, um, 3 minute, it's right here. It's the same thing actually. So I don't know if you're referring to that one. There's also this one. Let me actually see real quick. Hold on. Okay, no, this would be like invalid technically. Maybe on the hourly we get a good close. Yeah, I mean that's just a candle three. So hold on. Okay, so this is valid right here. Um, technically this is like I don't like these ones. I'm not gonna lie. We take it. Not a big fan of this one, but it worked out. And it's like a candle four continuation right there. A bit higher in the range, but that's pretty nice. Maybe there's one at the low of the day too. You know. Yeah, this is crazy. Like it's actually insane. It's so stupid. How good this is. The fair value gap. We open low first, right, into a key level. So low days form from a key level, and we want to trade the next 4 hour candle, right? Because it's not an expansion candle, right? We're gonna trade that next candle higher. So you're opening up within a fractal model, like over here. Look, where is it? Right here, right? So that's that example there. So all you need here I think I already looked at this. There's your entry right there. There's technically another one right there. There you go, right? Easy as. This is what I mean by aligning expansion candle. Sorry, it's getting really loud. I'm at a coffee shop. So this is what I mean by aligning inversion to the left. You see how it aligns with that? That's what I really like to see. It's not a requirement. Well, sorry, it just got really loud. There's like hella people's walking. We should chill here, but we're already at like an hour. So I'm just gonna like have the live stream on wow that goes over. I do like basically all of them. They all like have examples. I forgot which stream. It's like the first four or something that you want to watch. The first four, I think. 3 minute 4 hour. Been looking to do it around basic price and trading away from manipulation consolidation. Yep. Which is I'm just so which looks like a retracement. It's just doing the same. Just sell. Yeah, so like it can look like a fractal model on the 4 hour, but I trade like this here is a fractal model, right? But I'm not trading the 15 minute. I'm trading the lower time frame. Right? It's basically like, and I don't have to have a closure. So if you look here, I could trade this next candle, even though we don't have a candle to closure, right? Because this previous candle hit a key level. If you look at my first stream, I talk about this, how usually the market reverses in the first couple of candles. That's kind of what it's framed around, especially intraday. So if you look here, I don't have a 1 hour close or a 30-minute close, so I have to wait. Okay, now the lowest form from a fractal model, you could trade the rest higher. This is just too late in the day, though, by the way. But if you look here, I think there's one day, like right here, technically no fractal model, right? We don't close. I don't care about that though. I'm looking to wait for the next candle to align with expansion, right? Because we can expand away from this key level, but not inside of this candle here. Inside of this candle, because this candle doesn't support expansion. So simply just waiting for that next candle open. And again, we're opening within a fractal model on the hourly time frame. Whoops, I don't know why I put the weekly open. So it's the same thing, right? It's very repeatable. This is why you guys are going to be taking the same trades. Look here. There is a valid loss right here, I think, or technically not. You don't get stopped out. That's pretty lucky. Very close. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Even if you did like get stopped out there, then another one right here. Another entry. Into these like failure swings. You see these failure swings right here? But yeah, you're gonna see. It actually has nothing to do with the close, to be honest. Like you see here, ideally we sweep out this low. Probably a divergence though. What the hell? Okay, there's not, I guess. But oh yeah, I remember this day. So I wouldn't even trade this day mechanically. There's no fractal model at the low. Um, technically there is right here, I guess you could say. Let me see something real quick. That CSC is way too far. And that's not valid either. Yeah, I probably wouldn't trade that, but yeah, you're gonna see. Uh, keep GT. Do you have access to the PDF that shows some examples? I mean, it's literally gonna come out like tomorrow. So don't worry. In a lot cleaner way, like a course format. So I'm probably gonna end it there, guys. Like an hour. Um, yeah, that was all the trades that I took. But yeah, we're gonna be working on the course today. So hopefully you finish it. It's a rough draft right now. So, Star, we need your help, bro. I I don't know how he's gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie. That fast, that's crazy. I would be surprised if we get it done. Like I would actually be like hella surprised. I'm not gonna lie. by Sunday. But don't underestimate T trades. That's true. I did say it was cat. All right, I'll catch you later. Y'all have a good one.